So, welcome back to another video and welcome back to RE Moto. I've been absolutely ecstatic at the amount of support, messages and everything from everyone, so thank you to all those people that have commented, have given feedback. It's been really great. So just a reminder, if you guys want to follow along, remember just to subscribe, and there's going to be a lot more coming out. But today we're going to be focusing on, as the title of the video says, is this bike the perfect beginner bike? But as I always do, no point me standing here looking at this bloody gorgeous thing. I'm going to get on the bike and we're going to go for a little bit of a ride, and we'll discuss this. Oi, come on then. There she is. Yeah. Alright, so as I said, we're going to discuss around the finer point of, is this bike good for a learner? Well, that one's a little bit hard to answer, to be honest, especially with this bike. My honest opinion is honestly no. This bike is not good for a learner. But before you all shoot me, I'm going to jump into my reasons why I believe this is not the bike for a learner rider. So firstly, my first reason is that this bike is really unpredictable and doesn't allow for too many mistakes. What I mean by that is that with its weight and its suspension componentry and how it's laid out, if you go too hot into a corner and you need to get out of it, the bike's not really going to be predictable and you're not going to really be able to fall back on it. Case in point of this is my first bike was a Yamaha R3, and there was multiple times I went into corners way too hot, and I was able to trust that bike and it'd get me through. This bike I wouldn't be able to trust, and I wouldn't trust any learner to try that on this bike. Another thing would be is for probably your smaller learners, people who are less confident. You gain more confidence over time, but it's just the weight of the bike. It is a relatively heavy bike from factory, so kind of moving around the garage and off the stoplight can be a little bit difficult depending on your size. Other than that, once it's rolling it's fine. You've got heaps of nice weight. Mine's lightened quite a bit, but she's nice and agile when you want it to be. Other than that, it's honestly is a good bike. Now I'll go into the pros. So a pro of this bike is that it teaches you how to ride a bike rather than pilot a bike. Because it's got such low horsepower, it requires you to really work the gears. It requires you to ride the bike how a bike should be ridden. Saying that, just look how gorgeous this is. Oh, stunning. With that, this bike does have quite a good low seat height, so it does suit those shorter riders. Shorter riders will find it easy to flat foot. I'm only 5'6", 5'7", so a relatively short guy, and I can flat foot this motorcycle, and my bike has honestly probably been risen by 20 mils, so my bike's probably sitting around 820 mils, so perfect for those short people. Another good reason I like this bike and why I'd recommend it to a beginner is that the community is really good. Something you don't get out of a lot of bikes is a good community, but the thing about the Royal Enfield is that you get a really good community which enables you to be able to interact with people of all different skills levels, and through this interaction, going on group rides, you learn so much. I've learnt so much from other people, and it's just an awesome thing to be able to do. Another drawback of this bike is that because it's fairly basic, it requires a little bit of mechanical knowledge. With that, servicing can be quite expensive if you get a shop to do it. The valves need adjusting periodically, and if you're not capable to do that, it can get quite expensive for a shop to do this for you. Other than that, I would kind of aim this bike more towards a returning rider or a learner rider who is older and not delving into spirited riding. I mean, you can spirit ride this bike, but it then becomes a very fine line of risk and reward, and it's not until you spend a little bit of money on suspension that you can start really pushing this bike. So overall, would I recommend this bike for a learner? Yes and no. If you're a young fella, you want to go flat out, this is not the bike for you. If you're an older fella who just wants to go out, have a good community, enjoy the ride with people, absolutely this bike is amazing. You will love it. So that's going to pretty much wrap up this super short ride. But how gorgeous is this? So that's going to pretty much wrap it up for today. I had a lot of people ask about, you know, how is this for a beginner rider, so I thought I'd put this up. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and ask me about any more content that you would like. So on that note, I'll catch you on another one.